Hey, how's it going? Jeremy Donson here with thedrumprofessor.com. We're going to be going over another very common rock beat. You can find it in all kinds of songs, and bands use this pretty frequently. A couple of examples is CCR, Have You Ever Seen the Rain, and Cool Kids by Echo Smith. I'm actually going to play a little bit of that at the end of this video. So if you can play this beat, you can play most of Cool Kids. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to hit the bass and hi-hat together. Now, anytime we hit the bass or the snare drum, the hi-hat always hits with it. So if I say bass, you do bass and hi-hat both at the same time. So bass, and then next is a hi-hat by itself, so we're just going to say and if it's just the hi-hat. So and, now you put that together, bass, and, again, bass, and, one more time, bass, and. Okay, now after the hi-hat, we're going to do snare and hi-hat together. So bass and snare. One more time, bass and snare. Now after the snare drum, we're going to do two basses. Now anytime that you have a bass immediately after a snare drum, you're going to do what's called a prep stroke. Prep is short for preparation. So you have to prepare to kick that bass because it's coming right after a snare drum. Now this applies more when you speed it up, but it's a good habit to get into now so you don't have to reteach your muscle memory later on when you speed this beat up. So when you hit the snare drum, you want to raise your beater at the same time. So up as you're going to hit the snare drum. That way the beater is off the bass drum, and all you have to do now is kick it down. So this is what we're going to do, adding two basses. Bass and snare, bass, bass. So again, raise that beater on the snare. Bass and up, bass, bass. You could say up instead of snare just to help remind you, raise that beater right then. Reason why, if we speed it up to this speed, you have to raise it before it's going to sound more like this. Right, it's going to be late and it's not going to sound good. So now after the two basses, we have and, snare, and that's the full beat. So we're going to put it together slowly. Bass and snare, bass, bass and snare, and bass and snare, bass, bass and snare, and. Let's speed it up. Now you want to play each tempo for about a minute before you speed it up. When you get comfortable, then you can take it to the next level. I'm going to do a little shorter than that just to show you. So I've got it comfortable at this tempo. Now I'm going to speed it up. Alright, so we have that at a decent tempo now, so let's apply this to Cool Kids and see what it sounds like. Check it out. Cool Kids, there you go. Now, if you like, I can do another video on Cool Kids, but that's most of the beat for it. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions at all about today's lesson, then subscribe below and ask your question below. And if you have any song requests, subscribe and request your song below, and I'd be happy to help you out. Thanks.